Good morning, friends. Hope you all are doing good. Guys, in this lecture, we are going to cover revision of service sector costing, that is operating costing. In the first part of the lecture, we are going to cover transportation services like school bus operator, goods transportation, and passenger transportation. Now, guys, while working that school bus question, important part is number of students availing the bus facility. In case of goods transportation, we are going to consider tons kilometer. In case of passenger transportation, we are going to consider passenger kilometer. So how to calculate the fare? We are going to discuss in detail how to calculate the fare. In case of school bus, fare will be calculated per student per month or per student per annum basis. In case of goods transportation services, we are going to calculate fare on the basis of fare per tons kilometer. In case of passenger transportation, we are going to consider fare per passenger kilometer. Now we are going to discuss that in detail. In all these goods transportation, passenger transportation or school bus operator, in all such questions, the cost will be divided into the cost will be divided into three parts. First part is called as the fixed expenses. Second one will be your variable expenses. And third one will be your semi-variable expenses. Semi-variable expenses. The fixed expenses is also called as a standing charges. Standing charges. Variable expenses is also called as a running expenses. Vehicle running expenses. Now let's take example of the fixed expenses. That is road tax, okay, insurance, any fees payable to the government, right? Driver salary, garage rent, and so on. Depreciation. If depreciation is dependent on time basis, then you are going to consider it into the standing charges. So cleaner salary, then conductor salary, driver salary, taxes, insurance, fees to pay to the government, license fees, etc. These are all your standing charges, fixed expenses. In case of variable expenses, petrol expenses, diesel expenses, petrol expenses, diesel expenses, oil, suppose tire, okay, depreciation. Guys, these tire expenses and depreciation expenses will be covered into the variable, that is running expenses, only if they are dependent on kilometer. Suppose life of the vehicle is given not in year, life of the vehicle is given in number of kilometers that the vehicle can travel. And then tire expenses will be considered in variable part only if, guys, they have given like this: life of the tire is 25,000 kilometer, life of the tire is 50,000 kilometers. So every 25 or 50,000 kilometer you have to change the tire. So it will be covered into the running expenses, that is the variable expenses. Semi variable expenses, generally only one part is covered, that is repairs and maintenance expenses. Okay, so generally we will classify all these costs into three parts: standing charges, variable expenses, and semi variable expenses. So we'll take a total cost, then we will add profit. Okay, in case of school bus operator, we will calculate fare per student per month or per annum, as the case may be, which is given in the question. In case of goods transportation, we are going to consider fixed expenses, variable expenses, semi-variable expenses, total cost, add a desired profit. It will be, guys, fare per tons kilometer. And next, in the case of that passenger transportation, that fixed expenses, running expenses, semi-variable expenses, total expenses, add some profit. It will be total fare to be collected divided by, guys, passenger kilometer. We will get fare per passenger kilometer. Okay, that goods transportation, passenger transportation, we are going to discuss later. So first of all, let's cover the question of the school bus operator. So everyone come to directly to the practical part of your notes, okay, of this topic. So first question we are going to solve of the school bus operator. SMC is a public school having 5 buses, each playing in a different direction for the transportation of its school student. In view of the large number of students availing of the bus services, the buses work 2 shifts. I'll underline that buses will work 2 shifts daily, both in the morning and in the afternoon. The buses are garaged in a school. The workload of the student has been so arranged that, now read it carefully, workload of the student is arranged that The first trip pick up the senior student. First trip pick up the senior student, and the second trip playing an hour later pick up the junior student. Okay, so first trip will take the senior student, then 1 hour later they will pick a junior student. Similarly, in the afternoon, the first trip will drop the junior student, and then an hour later, second trip takes the senior student home. So first of all, they will drop a junior student, then they will drop senior student. Next one, distance traveled by each bus one way. Okay, so one way distance is 8 kilometers. So 8 kilometers आएगा, 8 kilometer आएगा. So total will be 16 kilometer each bus per day. The school means one way. The school 8 kilometer one way. Sorry. The school work 25 days in a month. Okay, and remain closed for vacation in May, June, and December. So the bus is operating only for the 9 months. But bus fee, however, is payable by the student for all 12 months. So although your bus is operating for the 9 months, you are going to pay for entire 12 months. Okay. The details of the expenses for the year are as under. Driver salary. You can check the driver salary will be your standing expenses. That is fixed expenses. Cleaner salary, fixed expenses. Then 350 per 450 and 350 per month. And very important observation is given for the cleaner. Salary cleaner and as well as driver salary. Salary is payable for all 12 months. Salary is payable for all 12 months, and one cleaner is required for all 5 buses. Only one cleaner is required for 5 buses. Okay? License fee taxes will also be a standing charges. Purchase price of the bus life is 12 years. I told you. Depreciation will be considered fixed expenses. Standing charges only if depreciation is dependent on time. If the life of the vehicle is given in year, then it will be a standing charges. But the life is given in kilometer, then you are going to consider it as a running expenses, that is a variable expenses. Next one, scrap value is 30,000 and 1,50,000 each. Insurance will also be your standing charges like a depreciation. Repairs and maintenance will be your semi-variable expenses. Diesel cost will be your variable expenses. Next one, each bus on an average, sir. Each bus on an average gives a mileage of 4 km per liter of diesel. So if you put 1 liter diesel in that vehicle, it will run for 4 km. Seating capacity. Yes, guys. Seating capacity of each bus is 50 students. Okay. The seating capacity is fully occupied during the whole year. Okay, it is the fully occupied during the whole year. Student pick up and drop within a range up to 4 km of the distance from the school are charged half fare. Please everyone read it again. Student pick up and drop within a range up to 4 km distance from the school are charged half fare, and 50% of the students traveling in each trip are in this category. So the students which are coming within 4 km radius of the school, they are going to charge, means we are going to charge them half a fare. And the students which are coming beyond 4 km from the school, we are going to charge full fare. 50% student will come within 4 km and 50% student will come beyond 4 km. Okay, now let's read it. Ignore interest. Okay? Since the charges are to be based on average cost, you are required to. Okay, charges are dependent on cost. Charges are dependent on cost. So profit is not added in this question. So they have not given add some profit on cost. So no problem. You are required to prepare a statement showing expenses, showing the expenses of operating single bus and fleet of 5 buses for the year. Okay. Now here specifically it is given that calculate the expenses for the year. Next one, work out the average cost per student per month. Average cost per student per month coming within 4 km from the school and coming beyond 4 km from the school. So what will be the average cost and what will be the fare? Because fare is dependent on cost only. You are not adding any profit. So you have to calculate the cost oblique fare of the student which are coming within 4 km from the school, from whom you are charging 50% if you remember. And for the remaining 50% student which are coming who are coming beyond 4 kilometers from the school, you are charging the full fare. So you have to calculate the half fare and the full fare. Right, guys? Okay, guys. So let's quickly solve this question. We'll have to prepare a cost sheet for the one bus and five buses. So first expenses, you can classify all the expenses into three parts as I already told you. Fixed expenses, variable and semi-variable expenses. Okay. So start with the first expenses given. Driver salary 450 per month per driver. Okay. So driver salary 450 per month per driver. So for one, so 450 multiplied by 12, right, guys? For one bus, I am calculating that. So 450 multiplied by 12. Your answer comes to 5,400. And if you multiply with the five buses, so your answer comes to 27,000. So this is your first expenses, that is a driver salary. After driver salary, next fixed expenses is your cleaner salary, which is a 350 per month. But there is one important point here, 350 per month. So 350 multiplied by 12. So your annual 350 multiplied by 12, your annual salary will be 4,200. But very important point is given there. One cleaner is required for all five buses. So one cleaner cost is divided into five buses. So we will divide by five buses. So divided by five. One bus cost will be 840, and for the five buses, your cost will be 4,200. I hope so you have got this adjustment. So one cleaner is sufficient for the five buses. So salary will be distributed among the five buses. Sure. Next, standing charges is your license fees and taxes, 860 per bus per annum. So directly 860, and 860 multiplied by five buses, 860 multiplied by five buses, your answer comes to 4,300. I hope so. Next one. After that license, next standing charges is guys depreciation you can calculate, or insurance. Suppose 1,000 per bus per annum is your insurance. So 1,000, and for five buses it will be 5,000. Next expenses, depreciation will immediately calculate that 1,50,000 is the cost of a bus minus residual value is 30,000 divided by life of the bus is 12 years. So per annum depreciation for one bus will be 10,000, and for the five buses it will be 50,000. Okay, you can show the calculation in that competition part like this. So 1,50,000. Okay, so 1,50,000 is your price minus 30,000 is your residual value. Okay, so divided by 12 year is the life of that vehicle. So 10,000 per bus and 50,000 for the five buses. Next expenses they have given repairs and maintenance 3,500 per bus per annum. So 3,500 per bus per annum, and you will multiply with the five buses. Your answer will be 17,500. Next one. Next and a very important adjustment is your diesel cost. Diesel cost is 2 rupees per liter, and mileage of that truck is or bus is 4 kilometer per liter. So guys, boys and girls, first of all, you'll have to calculate total kilometers traveled. Okay, so to calculate this, to calculate the diesel cost, you'll have to first calculate total kilometers travel. Now guys, total kilometers travel is equal to, I'll show here, total kilometer travel will be, some of the student will make a mistake per bus. Some of the student will make a mistake. Suppose 8 kilometer, one way 8 kilometer. Okay. But guys, if you can check that, how many trips are there? Suppose this is a school, and suppose this is a house of the student. Okay. Now, first shift will take a senior student, will go to the home of the senior student and will come back. Then an hour later, junior student, the bus will go to the home or house of the junior student and they will come to the school. In the afternoon, first junior student will be sent to the home and again come back. An hour later, senior student will drop to home and again they will come back. So you can check that 8 kilometer, how many one-way trip are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. So 8 kilometer, 8 trips. 8 trip per day multiplied by, you can check that your bus is operating for 25 days in a month, and You are operating only for 9 months in a year. 3 month holiday is there. So 8 kilometer multiplied by 8 trip multiplied by 25 days multiplied by 9 months. Guys, per bus 14,400 kilometer will be total kilometer traveled for one bus, and for five buses you will have to multiply with the five. So 72,000 will be total distance traveled by five buses. Okay, now let's calculate the diesel cost. Diesel cost, 2 rupees is your diesel cost. In 2 rupees, that bus will travel 4 kilometers, and in a year one bus will travel 14,400 kilometers. One bus will travel 14,400 kilometers. Now you can check that. So 2 multiplied by 4, sorry, 2 divided by 4 multiplied by 14,400. Guys, your cost will be 7,200. And for the five buses, your cost will be 36,000. Okay, now I'll take a total of all the expenses for one bus and total expenses for the five buses quickly. So 5,400 plus 840 plus 860 plus 1,000 plus 3,500 plus 10,000 plus 7,200. Guys, boys and girls, 28,800 is the cost to operate one bus in a year. Multiplied by five buses cost will be 1,44,000. I hope so this point is clear to every one of you, and that explanation is also you have got that kilometer traveled. So 8 kilometer first, you will take bus to the house of that senior student and come back to the school. Then the junior student come back to the school in the afternoon. After the school, you'll have to drop the first junior student. Then an hour later, you'll have to drop the senior student. So 8 kilometer, 8 trip, 25 days into 9 months. So 28,800. Now you can check that total how many students are availing bus facility. So I'll write here total student availing bus facility. Per bus I'll calculate that. So total student availing the bus facility is equal to, guys, 50 senior student and 50 junior student. So there are 100 student in all. Everyone got this? There are 100 students. So bus is fully occupied. They have given 50 student capacity is there. So first of all, senior student will be 50 and junior student will be 50. In all, there will be 100 student, right, guys? And out of that 100 student, you can check that the student which are coming within 4 kilometer of the school and student coming beyond 4 kilometer of the school, 50% of the student are coming within 4 kilometer of the school. So 50 student are coming within 4 kilometers from the school, and 50 students will come beyond 4 kilometers from the school. Okay, but the point is that very important point is that the student which are coming within 4 kilometers from the school, you are charging only 50% fees. But the student who are coming beyond 4 kilometers from the school, you are charging 100% fees over there, right, guys? Now I'll calculate how much equivalent student who are paying full fees. I'll calculate equivalent student paying full fees. So first 50 student will pay 50% fare. So 50 student are paying 50% fare is equivalent to 25 student paying full, sorry. 50 student paying 50% of the fare is equivalent to 25 student paying full fare. Plus there are 50 student, remaining 50 student multiplied by 100% fare we are charging. So total in all equivalent 75 students are there who are paying full fees. Equivalent, guys. Because that 50 student coming within 4 kilometers from the school, you are charging half fare. So 50 student paying half fare is equivalent to 25 student paying full fare. Now fare per student per month, that is a normal fare, 100% fare without concession fare. I'll calculate that. Now how much is your cost, guys? You can check that 28,800 is your cost for one bus divided by 12 month divided by, guys, 75 students are paying full fare. So 28,800 divided by 12 divided by 75, you can check that. So full fare is rupees 32. Now the fees for the student who are coming within 4 kilometers from the school will be half, that is a 16 rupees per month. and the student coming beyond 4 kilometers from the school will pay full fare, that is 32 rupees per month. Right, guys? I'll cross check that. Don't worry at all. If you are not getting that, I'll cross check that. Immediately I'll cross check that. Okay. Now you can check that. How much fees, how much fare is to be collected is nothing but 28,800, because our total expenses is 28,800. Now guys, let's see whether we are able to recover that 28,800 or not. As in the question, profit is not given. You are charging the fare on the basis of cost only. So we should recover the cost from these 100 students. Let's see guys whether we are able to recover or not. So 4 kilometer, 50 students are coming within 4 kilometers from the school. Okay, so 50 students multiplied by, you're charging only half fare, and half fare we have calculated 16 rupees multiplied by 12 months. And the students which are coming beyond 4 kilometers from the school, they are in all 50 students. We are charging full fees, that is 32 rupees per month multiplied by 12 rupees. Now you can easily calculate that. So 50 multiplied by 16 multiplied by 12, you can check that 9,600 is a cost recovered from the student which are coming within 4 kilometers from the school. Next one, 50 multiplied by 32 multiplied by 12, if you can check that 19,200 is a cost recovered from the student coming beyond 4 kilometers from the school. If I add this plus 9,600, my total recovery will be 28,800, and you can check that my bus fare is my total cost of one bus is 28,800. So absolutely correct answer is there. So I hope so this point is clear to every one of you. I will repeat that again. There are in all 100 students, 50 senior, 50 junior. Okay. So senior student and junior student. In all, there are 100 student. Okay. 50% of that student coming within 4 kilometers from the school. So 100 into 50%, 50 students are coming within 4 kilometers, from whom we are charging 50% fare. But the remaining 50% student, that is 50 student coming beyond 4 kilometers from the school, from which we are charging 100% fare. So first of all, I have calculated equivalent number of students paying full fees. 50 senior, 50 students are there, and the student which are coming within 4 kilometers from the school paying 50% fare. So equivalent 25 student paying full fees, plus that 50 other student are also paying full fees. So 25 plus 50, total in all 75, and fare we have calculated per month is 32, and half fare will be 16. I hope so this point is clear to every one of you. Right guys? Now after this bus example, now you can classify these all expenses into three categories. As I already told you that driver salary will be a standing charges, that is fixed expenses. Cleaner salary will be fixed expenses. License will be the fixed expenses. Insurance will be the fixed expenses. Depreciation will be the fixed expenses, because depreciation is on the basis of time. So you can take a total of these. Then repairs and maintenance will be semi-variable expenses, and diesel cost will be variable expenses. So you can classify these, and you can work out like this. Sure. So after this school bus question, let's move ahead and let's work out the goods transportation question. Before we solve that goods transportation question, let's understand how to calculate tons kilometer. There are two type of tons kilometer. One will be your absolute tons kilometer, and another one will be your commercial tons kilometer. I have taken one example. Let's continue with that example. Everybody please come to that example. Yes sir. So goods transportation, I think so, page number 145, you can check that. So there are two type of tons kilometers. So tons kilometer is nothing but you'll have to multiply kilometer traveled multiplied by weight carried by that vehicle. So kilometer into tons will be the tons kilometer. Kilometer into passengers will be passengers kilometer, right guys? Here we are going to calculate tons kilometer. Now there are two type of tons kilometer, as I already told you that one is absolute tons kilometer and another is a commercial tons kilometer. Absolute means actual. You'll have to remember the name, sir. Absolute means actual. Absolute means actual, and commercial means average. Very simple explanation I have given. Absolute means actual, commercial means average. Now let's see the example and understand how to calculate that tons kilometer. But concept behind this tons kilometer is that you'll have to just multiply kilometer with the tons. Let's see. Example. A lorry starts with a load of 20 tons of goods from station A. If you can check that, this is your station A. The load of the lorry is a 20 tons. So it's starting from station A. it unloads 8 tons at the station B. Okay, out of that 20 ton, 8 tons is unloaded at station number B. At station number B, right guys? So obviously, out of 20 tons, 8 tons is unloaded at station number B. So obviously, how much will be left? Is it 12 ton? Now remaining 12 ton will be carried from B to C, station B to station C. Next one. It reaches back directly to station A after getting reloaded with the 16 tons of the goods at station number C. Okay. So in the return journey, we are not going from C to B. We are directly going from C to A. Hence, guys, there will not be C to B and B to A. Directly C to A with the load of 16 tons. Next information they have given: distance between A to B, B to C, and C to A is given. A to B distance is 80 km, as I have already written. B to C distance they have given 120 kilometers, and C to A distance they have given 160 kilometers. Now, in this question, you'll have to calculate absolute tons kilometer and commercial tons kilometer. As I told you, absolute means actual tons kilometer, right, guys? As I told you, absolute means actual tons kilometer. I'll write here, don't copy. Absolute answer is given. So just understand how to calculate that absolute. As I told you, absolute is nothing but your actual. Now let's see. The journey is divided into 3 parts. First journey is started from A, then it will go to B. So A to B is your first journey, B to C is your second journey, and C to A is your third journey. So this journey is divided into 3 parts. Now let's see the actual tons kilometer. First journey is from A to B. A to B load is 20 tons because it is started with the 20 tons multiplied by 80 kilometers. Plus, after unloading 8 tons at station number B, now load of the lorry will be 12 ton multiplied by from B to C. Boys and girls, we have already written from A to B, then we will write from B to C. B to C, 12 ton load is there and distance traveled will be 120 plus, Prabhu, in the next part, third journey is from C to directly A. You can check that C to A, your load is 16 tons, reloaded with the 16 tons and multiplied by 160 kilometer. So you can check this. 20 multiplied by 80 memory plus, 12 multiplied by 120 memory plus, 16 multiplied by 160 memory plus. So total 5600 is your tons kilometer. So you remember, sir, tons kilometer means kilometer multiplied by tons. Absolute means actual. Journey is divided into 3 parts: A to B, B to C, and C to A. Now let's work out the commercial tons kilometer. As I already told you that commercial tons kilometer is nothing but you'll have to work out the average. Okay. Now average of what? So the average of what? Average of load, average of weight carried. You have to take an average of weight multiplied by total distance traveled. Now you can check that from A to B, load was 20 tons, right? No. Yes, I'm sorry. From A to B, load is a 20 tons plus from B to C, now load is a 12 ton because 8 tons is already unloaded at station number B. So from B to C, total weight will be 12 tons plus from C to A, total weight carried will be 16 tons. So divided by 3. Why 3? Because there was 3 journey, A to B, B to C, and C to A. Okay. So what we have taken? We have taken average of weight. We have not taken average of kilometer. We have taken average of weight multiplied by total distance traveled by you. So total distance traveled by you will be 80 kilometer plus 120 kilometer plus 160 kilometer. Now let's check the commercial tons kilometer, how much it will be. So 80 plus 120 plus 160, total 360 kilometer traveled by you, and on an average weight will be 20 plus 12 plus 16 divided by 3 journeys. So 16 multiplied by 360, guys. So total commercial tons kilometer will be 5760. How much it is? 5760. Yes, 5600 and 5760. You can check that. So for simplicity, I have given you one important simple word for each and every concept, that is absolute means actual and commercial means average. So average, and one more extra line I have given to you, average of tons, average of weight, average of not kilometer. You'll have to multiply with the total kilometer and multiply with the average load. Journey was divided into three parts. So suppose one more permutation combination was possible. Suppose a truck is going from A to B, then B to C, then C to B, then B to A. Then four journey will be considered over there. But here from C it is coming back directly to A. So hence three journey is considered. I hope so. This point is clear to every one of you. Now next important point. In absence of information given in the question, always calculate absolute tons kilometer. If nothing is given in the question, whether to calculate absolute tons kilometer or commercial tons kilometer, so always calculate that absolute tons kilometer. Okay. Here also you can divide the expenses into two or three parts, that is the standing charges, fixed expenses, running expenses. Sometimes you can write semi-variable expenses as well. Okay, semi-variable expenses is only repairs and maintenance expenses. Okay, next one. Let's solve some question quickly. Let's solve some question quickly of that passengers kilometer, sorry, goods transport agency. We have completed first question. Let's solve the second question. Mark second question, very important in so many examination in old syllabus, new syllabus also this type of question is repeated. So it is very important from your exam point of view. A chemical factory runs its boiler on furnace oil obtained from Indian Oil and Bharat Petroleum, whose depots are situated at a distance of 12 and 8 miles from the factory site. Okay. Now, next part. Transportation of furnace oil is made by the factory's own tank lorries of 5-ton capacity. Inward trip are made only on a full load and the lorry go back empty. So inward trip with the full load and the lorry goes back empty. The filling in time takes on an average 40 minutes for Indian Oil and 30 minutes for Bharat Petroleum. To fill that lorry, 40 and 30 minutes will be required. For empty time in the factory, 40 minutes for all. From the record available, it has been seen that average speed of the company's lorry will be 24 miles per hour. 24 miles per hour is speed. In 1 hour, it can travel only up to 24 miles. The varying operating charges averages 60 paise per mile. Okay, variable cost is 60 paise per mile covered. But very important adjustment, fixed charges given an incidence of rupees 7.50 per hour of operation. Guys, fixed expenses are dependent on time. Fixed expenses are dependent on time. Okay, I hope so this point is clear to every one of you. Calculate the cost per trip. Calculate the cost per trip for each source and state which alternative is better to the company. Here you will have to calculate cost per trip. So I'll summarize this question. I will summarize this question. Okay. So you are obtaining oil from two depots. First is Indian Oil and second is Bharat Petroleum, and you'll go to your factory. You'll go to the factory. Now let's see the distance between Indian Oil and Bharat Petroleum. So distance between Indian Oil and factory is 12 miles. Okay, and that Bharat Petroleum will be 8 miles. 8 miles. Now you can check that lorry, okay, that lorry capacity is 5 tons. But the speed of that lorry is, it can travel only 24 miles per hour. It is the speed of that lorry. Okay, I've got that. Next one, filling in time they have given. At the Indian Oil depot, 40 minutes will be required to fill that lorry. But at the Bharat Petroleum, only 30 minutes will be required to fill that lorry. Now let's go. Empty time is also given in the factory. 40 minutes is your empty time. 40 minutes is your empty time. Now guys, how much time will be required? First, time will be required for transportation from the factory to Indian Oil or Bharat Petroleum, and from that Indian Oil Bharat Petroleum to the factory. Transportation time will be required. Speed of the lorry is also given 24 miles per hour. Next, filling in time will be required and empty time will be required. Now, why time is important, guys? Because your fixed expenses are dependent on time spent for the operation. So first of all, let's calculate total time spent by each. So let's see, guys. Distance, Indian Oil distance and Bharat Petroleum distance. You know the distance, guys. One way distance is 12. So 12 for outward journey and 12 for return journey. 8 for outward journey, 8 for return journey. So in all, there will be 24 and 16 miles. In all, guys. Okay. Now, running time to cover the distance. This 24 miles and 16 miles will be covered. Very simple adjustment. Okay. I'll show here. Guys, 24 kilometer is a speed per hour multiplied by, guys, you can check that 60 minutes divided by 24 miles. Not kilometer, it is miles. What is the speed? In 60 minutes, it will travel 24 miles. And we also want to travel 24 miles for the Indian Oil operation. 12 for going and 12 for returning. So total outward journey and return journey will be for 24. So 60 minutes will be required. 60 minutes will be required for the transportation from factory to Indian Oil and Indian Oil to the factory. Now Bharat Petroleum, you'll have to calculate that. Guys, you just have to travel 16 miles multiplied by 60 minutes are there divided by 24 miles. In 60 minutes, you are going to travel 24 miles, but actually you need to travel only 16 miles. So only 40 minutes will be required to complete the operation of transportation from factory to Bharat Petroleum and Bharat Petroleum to factory. Now filling in time, you can check that. Filling in time is also given 40 minutes for Indian Oil and 30 minutes for Bharat Petroleum. Then empty time is also given. So empty time is common for all, 40 minutes and 40 minutes. Now total time for the trip, guys. Total time for the trip. Let's check that. So the total time for the trip. 60 plus 40 plus 40. You can check that 140 minutes will be required to complete one operation from factory to Indian Oil and Indian Oil to factory, to filling time, empty time, transportation time. Now, if you check Bharat Petroleum, I think so 110 minutes will be required to complete this operation from factory to Bharat Petroleum, then refill that, come back to the factory, empty that. So 110 minutes. So now let's calculate the expenses. Variable cost is dependent on miles cover. So 60 paise per kilometer or 60 paise per miles. So in the first column, 60 paise means 0.60 multiplied by, yes, Saji. So 0.60 multiplied by 24, and in the second column 0.60 multiplied by 16. So 0.60 multiplied by 24 miles, if you can check that, your cost comes to 14.4, and if you multiply with the 16, your cost comes to 9.6. Okay. Now fixed charges are dependent on time. Fixed charges are dependent on time. How much was your fixed expenses? Fixed expenses is 7.5 per hour. So 7.5 per hour, you can check that already calculation is given. We need 140 minutes divided by 60. It is converted into hour multiplied by rate is 7.5, right? And 7.5. Ji haan, sir. So 140 minutes divided by 60. It is converted into hours multiplied by cost is 7.5 per hour. Your answer comes to 17.4999. So 17.15. In the second column, you can check that 110 minutes will be required to complete the operation, divided by 60, it will be converted into hours multiplied by 7.5. So quickly, 110 divided by 60 multiplied by 7.5. Prabhu, your answer comes to 13.75. 13.75. So cost per trip, if you can check that, cost per trip will be 14.4 plus 17.5. 14.4 plus 17.5. How much it is, guys? You can check that. Is it 31.9? Then 9.6 plus 13.75, you can check that. Your answer comes to 23.35. So we have calculated this cost per trip. Okay. Now if I want to calculate cost per ton kilometer, or here cost per ton miles, so you just have to multiply kilometers, that is tons, with the miles. Very simple, guys. In absence of the method given, what you'll do? In absence of the method given, absolute tons kilometer or commercial tons kilometer? I told you absolute tons kilometer. Absolute means actual. So be careful here. I'll calculate Indian oil first. Tons miles. Be careful, guys. From factory to Indian oil, guys, 12 multiplied by 0. From Indian oil to factory, 12 mile multiplied by 5 ton ka load. In the second part, that is Bharat Petroleum, 8 miles multiplied by 0 plus 8 mile multiplied by 5. From factory to that Indian oil or Bharat Petroleum, so the lorry should be empty. Then it will be refilled at that oil, means that Indian oil or Bharat Petroleum depot. Then 5 tons load will be there. So 12 into 0, 0 plus 12 into 5, 60. And in the second column, it will be 40. So immediately I can calculate tons kilometer, cost per tons kilometer or cost per ton mile, 31.90 divided by 60. So your answer comes to 0.5316. So approximately 0.532. Then 23.35 divided by 40 is your tons kilometer. Your answer comes to 0.584. Okay. Now, two questions can be asked. First question is only to calculate, guys, total cost per trip. So if they have asked you to only calculate cost per trip, your answer will end here. But if you need to calculate cost per tons kilometer also, so total cost divided by tons kilometer. Okay, so how to calculate that tons kilometer in absence of the method given? Absolute tons kilometer. So absolute tons kilometer, how to work that, guys? How to work that? Factory to Indian oil to factory, right? From the factory, it will go empty. And in the Indian oil, it will get refilled. So for the 12 mile into 0 and return 12 into 5. 8 into 0 and 8 into 5. So in that way, we have calculated that. And cost per tons mile is equal to total cost divided by tons miles. In our other question, tons kilometer, right, guys? So this is a very simple question. And in so many examinations, this question is asked in old syllabus, new syllabus as well. Okay, now let's work on to the next question. Similar question we will solve. Let's go to the third question. DC distribute its goods to a regional dealer using single lorry. Okay, again, one more question we are going to solve. One big question we are going to solve of the goods transport agency. The dealer premises is 40 kilometers away by the road. The lorry has a capacity of 10 tons, okay, and makes the journey twice a day. Guys, twice a day means 2 times outward journey, 2 times return journey. Okay, and in my class, I generally explain this. Jo jayega wo wapis aayega. Okay, so if you are going from city A to B, again you'll have to come back from B to A. So you are going to work on 2 trips a day, means from A to B, 2 trips means first will go and come back. Again will go and come back. So you will have to remember there should be a round trip. Okay. Now twice a day fully loaded on outward journey and empty on the return journey. Outward journey fully loaded and return journey empty. The following information is available for 4 weekly period. 4 weekly period. Following information is 4 weekly period. During the year, petrol consumption 8 rupees per liter. Petrol cost is 60 per liter. Oil 200 per week. Driver wages fixed. Repairs, garage rent, cost of lorry, excluding tire, life of the lorry. Prabhu, as I told you, life of the lorry is not given in year. life of the lorry is given in kilometer, it means that depreciation will be treated as your running expenses, variable expenses. Next one, insurance is your standing charges. Cost of tire, oh bhai sahab, life of the tire is also given in kilometer. In such a situation, guys, again you'll have to work on this ki, if tire cost is given and life of the tire is given in kilometers, then that tire cost will be treated as a variable cost. Okay, next one, estimated sale value of the lorry at end of its life, 1,50,000. Licenses cost is a fixed cost, other overhead is a fixed cost, 41,600 per annum. Lorry run 5 days a week. In 1 week, lorry will go for 5 days. I think so. Data is given for 4 weekly period, and lorry is working on 5 days a week required. A statement to show the total cost of operating the vehicle. Okay, what we need to go? Statement total cost of operating the vehicle for 4 weekly period. So you'll have to read question carefully. Whether you need to calculate cost per week, cost per 4 week, cost per month, or cost per annum. So these are various permutation combination. Here you need to calculate cost for a 4 weekly period. 4 weekly period. Okay. 4 weekly period, analyze into running cost and fixed cost. Okay, sir ji. Analyze into running cost and fixed cost. So generally I told you 3 category. Running cost, fixed cost. Running cost means variable cost. Fixed cost means standing charges. One more I have given semi-variable cost. But here it was an examination question, and in examination question they need only 2 bifurcation, running cost and fixed cost. In such a situation, semi-variable cost is not to be shown separately. That repairs and maintenance not to be shown separately. So where to write that repairs and maintenance? Repairs and maintenance will be written into the variable cost, running cost. You'll have to remember this. Okay. Calculate the variable cost, vehicle cost per kilometer. Okay, vehicle cost per kilometer and per tons kilometer. Vehicle cost per kilometer and per tons kilometer. Now let's see. First of all, you'll have to calculate kilometers. Why you need to calculate kilometer? Because petrol cost, diesel cost is generally depend, oil cost generally depend on kilometers travel. In this question, petrol cost, diesel cost, as well as the depreciation is also dependent on kilometer, and the tire cost is also dependent on kilometer. So first of all, you'll have to calculate kilometers travel in that 4 weekly period. Now let's see, guys. 40 kilometer one way multiplied by 2 times a day. Okay, so 40 kilometer a day, one way journey, right, guys? Into 2 trip, into 2 ways. Okay, into 2 ways. Obviously, na sir, jo jayega wo वापिस आएगा. Next, after that, you'll have to multiply it with the 5 days a week. 5 days a week, and you'll have to multiply with 4 weekly period. 4 weekly period. So total kilometers traveled I have given in the answer. So 40 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5 days multiplied by 4 week. So 3,200. How much it is, guys? 3,200. You can check that. 40 kilometer distance, 2 times 2 trip, 5 days into 4. So it comes to 3,200. Okay. So no need to work that for 1 week. Okay, so 3,200 divided by 4 week, it will be 800. No need, absolutely there is no need. It is given in the suggested answer, but there is no need at all, because you directly need to calculate cost for 4 weekly period. 4 weekly cost they have asked, so no need that 1 week column. Now tons kilometer, as I told you guys, tons kilometer. In that tons kilometer, you will have to consider absolute tons kilometer in absence of information given. So total distance travel is 3,200. Out of 3,200, guys, 1,600 will be outward journey and 1,600 will be your return journey. I hope so this point is clear to every one of you. Suppose distance between Pune and Mumbai, distance between Pune and Mumbai is 200 kilometer, and you are total traveling 400. Obviously, na 200 for Pune to Mumbai and Mumbai to Pune 200. So 400. So total distance travel will be 400. So outward journey will be 200 and return journey will be 200. Same situation, same logic is applied here. Total distance travel will be 3200. Out of that 3200, 1600 is outward journey and 1600 is a return journey. 1600 multiplied by कितना टन का लोड है, how much load they have taken 10 ton and return will be 0. So guys, boys and girls, I'll have to add this. Your answer will be, guys, 16,000. Perfect, guys. You can check that 40 multiplied by 10 tons multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 4. Yes, it is 16,000, and for 1 week divided by 4 week, if I take that, it is a 4,000. Sure. All expenses will be divided into two parts only in this question, that is standing charges and variable running expenses. Okay, let's work out on that. Petrol cost is a variable, oil is a variable. Okay, driver wages is fixed 2,500 per week. Okay, so guys, boys and girls, 2,500 into 4, it will be 10,000. Next one, guys, after that, driver wages, repair will be variable expenses. I told you garage rent. Garage rent is 800 per week, 800 into 4, 3,200. 3,200. Next one, okay, garage rent, cost of lorry. Guys, it will be a depreciation. Depreciation is dependent on kilometer. Ignore that. Let's work out on insurance. 18,200 per annum. Insurance cost is 18,200 per annum. So here you'll have to calculate, guys. 18,200 divided by 52 week in a year. In a year there are 52 week multiplied by 4 weekly period. 1,400, guys. 1,400. Are you agree with this? You can check that, guys. Calculation is also given. 18,200 divided by 52 week multiplied by 4 weeks. It is 1,400. Chalo. Let's move ahead. Insurance. After that insurance, next cost is cost of tire. Boss, tire life is given in kilometers, so it will be a variable expenses, running expenses. Estimated sale value, okay. Licensing cost is your fixed cost, 7,800 per annum. So same calculation. 7,800 divided by 52 week into 4. 7,800 divided by 52 week multiplied by 4 week. 7,800 divided by 52 multiplied by 4 week. It will be 600 rupees. ठीक है boss. Okay, other overhead cost is a fixed 41,600. So again, same calculation will be there. 41,600 divided by 52 week multiplied by 4 weekly. It comes to 3,200. So how much is your standing charges? How much is your fixed expenses? I'll check that. 10,000 plus 3,200 plus 1,400 plus 600. 600 plus 3,200. I think so your cost comes to 18,400. You can easily calculate for 1 week. You can do that yourself. Now let's work out, guys, variable expenses. In the variable expenses, first item of cost is your petrol cost. Petrol cost is 60 and 8 kilometer. Okay, so guys, petrol cost is 60 and in 1 liter it will go 8 kilometer. So 60 divided by 8 multiplied by, you needed to travel 3,200 kilometer. Multiply by 3,200 kilometer, your answer comes to 24,000. Next one, guys, after that oil expenses is given, and oil expenses is 200 per week. There are 4 weekly data, so it will be 800, guys, boys and girls. Next one, after that oil expenses, let's work out next one, repairs. Ji haan, repairs is also a variable expenses. Otherwise we could have been shown into semi variable cost. Here 600 per week, 2,400. 600 per week, it will be for 4 week, 2,400. Next, depreciation, you can check that. Cost is 9,50,000 minus, guys, its residual value is given 1,50,000 divided by life is also given in kilometer, and it will run 1,60,000 kilometer, and in that 4 weekly period it is running only 3,200 kilometers. So 16,000 will be your cost of that depreciation. Next, depreciation on tire. Let's work out, guys. The tire cost is given how much? 52,500 is your tire cost divided by life of the tire is given 25,000 multiplied by, here you are for 4 week 3,200 kilometer traveled by you. Okay, it's correct na? 6720. It will be 6720. Okay, now total of that running expenses 24,000 plus 800 plus 2,400 plus 16,000 plus 6720. Boys and girls, your answer comes to 49,920. Okay, Now for one truck, 1 week you can easily calculate, no need to calculate here. Okay, now next and important part, what you need to calculate: statement showing total cost for the 4 weekly period for one vehicle, and calculate cost per kilometer and cost per tons kilometer. So cost per kilometer is very simple. So I'll write here, guys, cost per kilometer. Guys, your total cost is 68,320 and total kilometer traveled by you is 3,200. So 68,320 divided by 3,200, guys, 21.35 rupees is your cost per kilometer. And next one, cost per tons kilometer also calculated. So 68,320 divided by total tons kilometer we have calculated, it was 16,000. So divided by 16,000, you can check that. 68,320 divided by 16,000. Guys, boys and girls, your answer comes to 4.27. I hope so. This point is clear to every one of you. Right, guys? So here we have completed that goods transportation question. Let's move ahead with the passenger transportation question. Guys, there is a similarity in goods transportation and passenger transportation. All the statement table will be same, but instead of tons kilometer, you will have to calculate passengers kilometer. Now, how to calculate passenger kilometer? Simple है. Capacity occupied of that bus multiplied by kilometers traveled. जैसे कि tons kilometer, how we have calculated tons multiplied by kilometer. Here, number of passenger occupied multiplied by kilometer. So simple, guys. Here, one very important adjustment will be sometimes or mostly in a question. Apart from the driver's salary and conductor salary, the driver and conductor are eligible for some commission as well. And that commission will be given of the total taking, total collection, total fare collection. Okay, so that hidden adjustment will be there in almost each and every question. So let's move ahead and read this question number 4, important question. ABC Transport Company has given a route of 40 kilometer long route to run a bus. Now it is example of the bus. The bus cost the company 10 lakh rupees. Insurance is 3%. Annual tax will be 20,000. Garage rent, annual repair. The bus is likely to last for 2.5 years. Okay, the driver salary will be 30,000 per month. Conductor salary will be 25,000 per month. In addition, as I told you guys, it is a very important question. What is that? Okay. Very important question. What is that, guys? 10% commission. You will also have to pay a commission to that driver and conductor, and the commission will be shared equally by both of them. Perfect. Then cost of stationery will be 1,000 per month. Manager cum accountant salary 17,000 per month. Next one, petrol and oil will be 500 per 100 kilometers. The bus will make 3 up and down trip. So जी 3 बार जाएगा 3 बार आएगा. So there will be 3 round trip, 3 into 2 ways, right? Carrying on an average 40 passengers on each trip. On an average 40 passenger will be there. So while calculating passengers kilometer, you just have to multiply 40 passengers multiply with the kilometers. Next one. The bus will take 3 up and down trip, 40 passenger. The bus will run on an average 25 days in a month. Assuming 15% profit on taking, calculate bus fare to be charged from each passenger. Okay, bus fare to be charged from each passenger. But in the previous question, guys, boys and girls, you have directly given that we need to calculate the cost for 4 weekly period. Here they have not given any such information. So we will calculate either monthly or you can calculate annually. Here we will calculate annual. So first adjustment will be same. Here first of all you will have to calculate distance traveled, because petrol cost, diesel cost is dependent on that distance traveled by the bus. Let's see, guys. The distance traveled will be, you can check that 40 kilometer long route is there. So 40 multiplied by, guys, 3 round trip per day. So into 3 trip into 2 ways multiplied by. So 25 days in a month you are going to operate. So multiply by 25, and there are 12 months in a year. So 72,000 kilometers. Okay, how much is kilometers? 72,000 is your kilometers. So number of buses, and number of buses are also there. How many buses are there? Has given a route of 40 kilometer and the bus cost. Okay, only one bus. Okay, only one bus. So you can ignore this. Distance travel will be 40 kilometers. G sir G. Distance travel will be 40 kilometer. Number of days in a month will be 25. Next one. Number of trip will be 3 into 2 multiplied by 12 month. So you can check that 40 multiplied by 25 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 12. So 72,000 is your total kilometers per annum. Now total passengers kilometer will be very simple. 72,000 multiplied by on an average 40 passengers are there. So multiplied by 40, your answer comes to 28 lakh 80,000. Your answer comes to 28 lakh 80,000. Now petrol consumption working note I'll give. So petrol and diesel 500 rupees for 100 kilometer. So very simple calculation guys. So 500 divided by 100 multiplied by 72,000 kilometers I need to travel in a year. So 500 divided by 100 multiplied by 72,000. Your answer comes to 3,60,000 per annum petrol diesel cost. 3,60,000 per annum is your petrol and diesel cost. I hope so this point is clear to every one of you guys. Next one. Let's calculate guys. Just a second. Just give me a second. Okay, let's see. So per annum, we can work out that standing charges and running expenses and variable, semi-variable expenses. Chalo. So first expenses, cost of the bus is 10 lakhs. Cost of the bus is 10 lakhs. Let's see, residual value life divided by 2.5 years. Residual value is not given. Chalo. So depreciation will be 4 lakh rupees. ठीक है. Next item of cost, I'll check that. Cost of the bus depreciation. Insurance. Insurance will be 3%. So 10 lakh multiplied by 3%, 30,000 will be your insurance cost. Chalo. Next one. After that insurance cost, let's move ahead. Annual tax is also given. Let's see how much is your annual tax. 20,000 rupees is your annual tax. 20,000 rupees is your annual tax. Next one. After that annual tax, let's move ahead. Garage rent is also 20,000 per month they have given. So 20,000 into 12, 2,40,000. Chalo, let's move ahead. Annual repair will be 2,04,000. 2,04,000 repair cost I have written there. Next one. Repair cost is also considered. The bus is likely to last for 2.5 year completed. Driver salary is 30,000 per month. Okay. So driver salary 30,000 per month and 25,000 per month. So 30,000, 3,60,000. Fixed portion we will consider here. Then 25,000 multiplied by 12, 3 lakhs. Next item, next administration में stationery they have given 1,000 per month, so it will be 12,000. Accountant salary, manager cum accountant salary will be also a fixed expenses 17,000 per month. So 17,000 multiplied by 12, guys, boys and girls, your answer comes to 2,04,000. Let's take a total of all these expenses. 30,000 plus 20,000 plus 2,40,000 plus 4 lakh plus 3,60,000 plus 3 lakh plus 1,20,000. Oh, 12,000 plus 2,04,000. 15,66,000 is your total standing charges. Now let's go to the running expenses. Petrol diesel cost already we have calculated. The 3,60,000 is your diesel cost, right, Sarji? Commission to the driver and commission to the conductor we will calculate later. For that purpose, we'll have to give the working note. For that purpose, we'll have to give the working note. Now let's see, guys. Everybody please concentrate. This working note is most important. Now what is that working note? We will calculate total taking. We will calculate total taking. We will calculate total collection, total fare. So guys, standing charges plus running charges, standing charges plus running charges plus semi-variable expenses plus profit will be your total taking. Perfect, guys? Now take the total of that standing charges. 15,66,000. Okay, 15,66,000 is a total of your standing charges, running charges. I know that commission is not given. We'll calculate that commission, don't worry. In the running charges, we just have a diesel cost that is 3,60,000. So I'll add here 3,60,000 plus commission. We'll have to calculate that commission. It is to be shared equally. How much is commission? 10% of the taking. Okay, Sarji. Plus commission is 10% of. It is not 10, Darshan. 10% of total taking. ठीक है. Semi-variable expenses, that is repairs, is also given in the question directly. 2,04,000. Plus you'll have to add the profit. Let's read the question carefully. Let's see how much profit you need to earn. 15% profit on your total taking. Plus 15% is your profit on total taking is equal to total taking, right, guys? So in the left hand side also we have some total taking. In the right hand side also we have the total taking. Now we will equate this total taking. Now how much it will be? 0.10 plus 0.15, 0.25. So 0.75 of total taking is equal to 15,66,000 plus 3,60,000 plus 2,04,000. Prabhu, 21,30,000. Therefore, total taking will be 21,30,000 divided by 0.75. Prabhu, your answer comes to 28,40,000. Your total answer comes to 28,40,000. Now easily you can calculate the profit. So fare I'll write here 28,40,000 total fare. Okay. Now profit, you know that 28,40,000 multiplied by 0.15 will be your profit. So 4,26,000 I have already written here. Commission, now easily you can calculate that. How much was the commission? 10% of the total taking to be shared equally. Okay. So 2,84,000. 2,84,000 divided by 2. 1,42,000, 1,42,000. 1,42,000, 1,42,000. Perfect, na sir? 10% is your commission of the total taking. Total taking already we have calculated. Then 5%, 5%. Equally share bola hai. Right? Let's see. 3,60,000 plus 1,42,000 plus 1,42,000. Your answer comes to 6,44,000. Right? So you have got the standing charges, variable expenses, semi-variable expenses. Now you got the total. Okay. Now you got the total, and you also need to calculate fare per passenger kilometer. So guys, boys and girls, that 28,40,000 divided by passenger kilometer, working note number 2. Passenger kilometer are 28,800. Sorry, 2,88,000. Or 28,80,000. Ji, sir. Ji. So your answer comes to 0.9861. 0.9861 will be your answer. Fare per passenger kilometer. I hope so. Everybody, every one of you got this very important adjustment. This adjustment was star mark. So commission is a variable because it is dependent on collection. But the salary was fixed. So that's why we have written salary of the driver and conductor above, and the commission is a variable, it is dependent on total fare collected, so we have written into the running charges. So this is how you will have to present that. So this will be calculated after this working note. So total standing charges, running charges, semi variable expenses plus profit is equal to total taking. So this is how you'll have to work, guys. I hope so everybody got this. Right, Prabhu? Chali. So here we have completed goods transportation and passenger transportation question. Now let's move ahead and let's work out on hospital question and then hotel accommodation question. So in transportation question, as we have seen that we have calculated cost per tons kilometer or cost per passenger kilometer. In hospital, you'll have to calculate cost per day, cost per bed day of the patient. Okay, now let's read this very important question. So many times this question is asked, so you'll have to mark this question very important, guys. Question number 5. ABC Health Center runs an intensive care medical care unit. For this purpose, it has been hired a building at a rent of rupees 50,000 per month. Okay, rent is 50,000 per month, with the understanding that it would bear the repairs and maintenance charges also. Each unit consists of 100 beds. Okay, so each means your hospital is having 100 beds, and 5 more beds can be comfortably accommodated when occasion demands. So total full capacity is 100, but 5 extra beds can be accommodated. So 105 will be your total capacity. Though the unit was open for the patient for all 365 days in a year, scrutiny of the accounts in 2008 revealed that for only 120 days in a year, the unit had a full capacity of 100 patients per day. For another 80 days, it has on an average 40 occupancy. But there were occasions when beds were full, extra beds were hired from the outside at a charge of 50 per bed per day. This did not come to more than 5 extra beds per day. The total higher charges are 20,000. Okay, total higher charges for the extra bed you are paying is 20,000. The unit engaged expert doctor from outside to attend on patient, and fees were paid on the basis of number of surgery. इनका जो fees है, fees are dependent on number of patient attended and time spent by them. So it is a variable surgery. You are appointing expert doctor and its salary is dependent on what? It is not monthly salary, guys. On an average, they have given the salary, but their salary is dependent on number of patients attended by them and time spent by them. So it is a variable expenses and it is not a fixed expenses, although it is given round figure 30,000 per month. So it is dependent on number of patients. It is a variable cost. Next one, salary to supervisor, 4 nurses, 2 ward boy, other expenses, repairs and maintenance, food supply to patient, janitor and other services to them, laundry charges for the bed linen, medicine supplied, cost of oxygen, x-rays, other than directly borne for the treatment of patient. This is not for the treatment of patient. General administration expenses is also given. If the unit recovered overall amount of rupees 200 per day on an average from each patient, what is the profit per patient made in the year 2008? Unit want to work on a budget for 2009, but the number of patients requiring intensive medical care is very uncertain factor. Assuming that same revenue and expenses prevail in 2009 in the first instance, work out the number of patients required for break-even. So break-even point is very simple. Total fixed cost divided by contribution per patient. Here per unit nahi aayega. Here contribution per patient will be the answer. So obviously, you will have to classify the cost into fixed and variable nature. Okay, so first of all, guys, boys and girls, first of all, let's calculate total patients attended, total bed occupied. What they have given, I'll highlight that portion, guys. 120 days, 120 days full capacity, 80 days 40 capacity, and also 50 rupees per day, 20,000 extra bed are occupied. Now some student will get confused. Why they will get confused, guys? Because the hospital was open for 365 days and the data is given for first 120 days, then data is given for 100 days. Sorry, then data is given for 80 days. So 120 plus 80, total 200 days information is given. So some student will confuse, "Arey sir, hospital was open for 365 days and data is given for only 120 plus 80, 200 days." So guys, don't get confused. Whatever the data given in the question, apply that data as it is. Apply the data as it is. Don't overthink. What about the remaining 165 or whatever the remaining days? No, sir, the date. It is not necessary now. Every day there will be some patient. Okay, there will be some days where there will not be any patient in your hospital. So don't prepare the question. Means, sir, for the remaining days, let's assume that 100% occupancy is there. No, you cannot. So simple. 120 multiplied by 100. 120 multiplied by 100. Yes, sir. So guys, अरे दर्शन इसके लिए कैलकुलेटर यूज कर रहे तो 12,000. ठीक है. For another 80 days, 40 beds are occupied. 80 multiplied by 40, 3,200. And extra beds. Here, simple calculation is there for extra bed. How much rental you have paid for that extra bed? 20,000. Per day, extra bed charges is 50, I think so. 50 or 40, I'll just check that. Per day, 50 rupees you are paying there. Khatam hai, sir. So total 20,000 you paid, divided by 50. How much extra bed you have in your hospital? 400. So total 12,000 plus 3,200 plus 400. 15,600 total beds or total number of patients day or patient bed day is there in your hospital. Perfect, guys. So don't overthink. Okay, for remaining days they have not given, don't consider that. Okay, 15,600 is your total occupancy. Now let's work out, guys. Income. So how much will be your fees recovery? Fees recovery will be 15,600 multiplied by 200 rupees per day. So 31,20,000 is your total fees recovery. Calculation I have given. 15,600 days patients multiplied by 200 per day per patient bed we have considering. So 31,20,000. Chalo. Now variable cost, contribution and fixed cost. Now why we are doing like this? Because in this question we need to calculate the break-even point also. So for break-even point we need contribution. For break-even point we need fixed cost. That's why all the costs will be divided into two parts, variable cost and fixed cost. So let's see, guys, what are the variable costs. Sabse pehla variable cost will be that extra bed at 20,000. Extra bed, 20,000. I'll write here. Okay. Next one, guys, that special doctor is there, and that special doctor is paid 30,000 per month, and its salary is dependent on patient attended. So multiplied by 12, 3,60,000. So it will be 3,60,000. Let's see the next variable cost which is given there. Salary is the fixed expenses, other expenses may repairs and maintenance will be fixed. Food supplied will be 4,40,000. So here repairs and maintenance will not be a variable expenses. Okay. So in a goods transportation, passenger transportation, school bus, generally that repairs and maintenance we consider either semi-variable or variable. So here it will be a fixed expenses, guys, because repairs and maintenance is not dependent on number of patients. But there for the transportation, repairs and maintenance is altogether dependent on kilometer traveled. Chalo, theek hai. So repairs, maintenance not consider. Food, janitor and other services for them 1,25,000. Okay. Chalo, theek hai. 1,25,000 completed. Laundry charges for the bed linen, yes, 1,40,000. Then guys, the next variable cost will be yes, obviously medicine will be variable cost, 2,80,000. Oxygen, they have given specifically wording there, other than directly borne for the treatment of the patient. So oxygen is not a variable cost. What they have given there, read it carefully, other than directly borne for the treatment of patient. So it will not be a variable cost. I'll take a total of these 3,60,000 plus 4,40,000 plus 1,25,000. plus 1,40,000 plus 2,80,000 plus 20,000. Your total comes to 13,65,000. Sales minus variable cost. Fees recovery minus variable cost will be your contribution. So 31,20,000 if I did a contribution will be 17,55,000. Perfect. 17,55,000 is your contribution divided by 15,600 per patient will be 112.5 contribution. It will be required while calculating break-even point. Let's move ahead. Now rent is given, fixed charges will consider 50,000 per month is your rent. Guys, so 50,000 multiplied by 12, 6 lakh rupees is your rent of that hospital. Then that salary, let's quickly calculate. There are two supervisor, 5,000 multiplied by 12. Guys, 1,20,000. Next one, after supervisor, nurses, 4 nurses are there, multiplied by 3,000 per month, multiplied by 12. My boys and girls, 1,44,000 will be your answer. Perfect. Next, ward boys. How many ward boys are there? 2 ward boys are there. 2 multiplied by 1,500 multiplied by 12. Your answer comes to 36,000. Your answer comes to 36,000. Next one. Okay. So repairs will be fixed. 28,000 rupees will be repairing expenses. Next, cost of oxygen other than directly borne for the treatment of the patient, 75,000, 71,000. 75,000 and 71,000 is other expenses. So total of the fixed cost. Total of the fixed cost. Let's check that. 6 lakhs plus 1,20,000 plus 1,44,000 plus 36,000 plus 28,000 plus 75,000 plus 71,000. Your total comes to 10,74,000. Correct. Total cost will be, total profit will be 17,55,000 if I deduct. 6,81,000 is your profit. Your answer is correct. 6,81,000 is your profit. Now, guys, contribution per patient I have already calculated. Total contribution is 17,55,000 divided by number of patients 15,600. So contribution per patient is 112.5. Total profit already we have calculated. 6,81,000 is your profit, Prabhu. Total patient days 15,600 is your patient days. So 6,81,000 divided by 15,600, 43.6538 is your profit per patient bed day. Now last is calculation. Break-even point you need to calculate. Total fixed cost is 10,74,000 is your total fixed cost divided by 112.5. Your answer comes to 9546.667. Obviously 9547 approximately. 9547. Correct me if I'm wrong. 9,547 is approximately your guys break-even point. Approximately 9546.66667. Correct me if I'm wrong. 9547 approximately I have written there. So we have completed one more question of that hospital also. So remember guys, in that hospital, actual working you'll have to work. So don't overthink that 365 days are there and data is only 200 given. So ignore that. Jitna diya utna data you'll have to consider. Chaliye. Now next last question, let's work out on that hotel accommodation. Hotel accommodation. Very interesting question, guys. Remember one very important point regarding that hotel accommodation. In a hotel, you will have to calculate fare per room per day. Fare per room per day. Tariff per room per day. Remember, most of the students will make mistake here. The company runs holiday home. For this purpose, it has hired a building at a rent of 10,000 per month plus 5% of total taking. So the owner is also getting 5% from our business. So rent adjustment is that you'll have to pay 10,000 per month plus 5% of total taking as well. It has the 3 type of suites: single room, double room, and triple room suite. Okay, is following other information: 150, 30 number of room, and occupancy is given 100%, 80%, 60%. The rent of the double room suite will be 2.5 times of the single room suite, and that of the triple room suite as a twice at the double room suite. Okay? So obviously there will be rate difference for single room, double room, triple room. Other expenses for the year 2013 are as follows: staff salaries, room attendance wages, lighting, heating, power, repairs and renovation, laundry charges, interior decoration, sundries. Provide profit 20% on total taking. Assume 360 days in a year. You are required to calculate rent to be charged of each type of suites. Okay, so first of all, let's calculate occupancy. First of all, let's calculate occupancy. Number of days given. Yes, sir. 360 days are given. So let's calculate occupancy. Single room occupancy. How many single rooms are there? Prabhu, 100 single rooms are there. Multiplied by 360 days are there. Multiplied by, I think so, 100% occupancy is given in the question. Yes, sir. 100% occupancy is given. So 100 multiplied by 360, that is 36,000 days. Single room are occupied. So you'll get a rent for 36,000 rooms. Double room suites. Let's read, guys. There are 50 and 80%. So 50 multiplied by 360 multiplied by 80% occupancy. So 50 multiplied by 360 multiplied by 80%, 14,400. Chalo, triple room suite. Let's work out on that. 30-60%. So 30 multiplied by 360 multiplied by 60%, right, Anna sir? So 30 multiplied by 360 multiplied by 60%, your answer comes to 6480. Your answer comes to 6480. Perfect, Prabhu. 6480. Chalo. Let's move ahead. Let's calculate all the costs. Fadafat se. Chalo, staff salary. How much is staff salary? 14,25,000. 14,25,000. Chalo. Next one. Room attendant salary is 4,50,000. Next item of cost they have given lighting 2,15,000. After lighting, heating, power, repairs and renovation 123,500. 1,23,500. Next. Laundry charges 80,500. 80,500 is your laundry charges. Next one. 74,000 ID, interior decoration. Next one. Sundry cost is also given in the question. Sundry's cost is 1,53,000. Plus, guys, rent is also, we need to calculate that. Okay, rent we also have to calculate. Now, how much is your rent? 10,000 per month. Right, guys, 10,000 per month. So 1,20,000 plus what is the agreement between us? 5% of total taking. So 0.05 of total taking, also a rent. So how much will be your total cost? 1,53,000. 14,25,000 plus 4,50,000 plus 2,15,000 plus 123,500. 123,500 plus 80,500 plus 74,000 plus 1,53,000 plus 1,20,000. Your total comes to 26,41,000 plus 0.05 of TT, total taking. Now let's read the question. Profit is also given. How much is to profit? 20% of TT, total taking. So 0.20 of total taking. So boys and girls, total taking will be 26,41,000 plus 0.25 of total taking. Perfect, na? 0.25 of total taking. 0.20 is your profit and 0.05 is your rent. So here also total taking, there also total taking, like a conductor commission. Equation will be prepared. Equation will be total taking is equal to 26,41,000 plus 0.25 of total taking. Therefore, total taking is equal to 26,41,000 divided by 0.75. Your answer comes to 35,21,333. Barabar, guys? Yes or no? You can check that. Check that. Everyone, please check that. Chale. So we have got that total taking. Now we have to calculate the rent. Now very important adjustment. Some student will get confused. I will assume that rent per day per room, rent per day of per room. You can check that what equation we can prepare that rent of the double room 2.5 times of the single room. So single room का I will consider x, comma double room का 2.5x आएगा. Then for the 3-room suite it will be twice of the double room suite. So it will be 5x respectively for single room, double room and triple room. Some student will make equation like this: x plus 2x plus 5x is equal to 35,21,333. Boys and girls, 0 marks. You'll not get marks, because as I told you, important point in this concept is that here you'll have to calculate fare per day, okay, tariff per day. So how many days occupancy is there? You'll have to check that. 36,000 single room multiplied by fare per day is x. Double room, I think so, 14,400. Yes, sir. So 14,400 multiplied by 2.5x plus 3-room suite 6480. 6480 multiplied by 5x. Now number of rooms multiplied by fare per room per day is equal to total taking 35,21,333. So here it will be 36,000x plus 14,400 multiplied by 2.5. It will be 30 again Prabhu, 36,000x plus 6480 multiplied by 5. It will be 32,400x is equal to 35,21,333. So 1,04,400x is equal to 35,21,333. So your x value, fare of the single room per day, single room fare per day will be 35,21,333 divided by 1,04,400. It will be 33.72. 72973 you can write there. Double room, guys, double room will be 2.5 times, multiply by 2.5 times, so it will be 84.32 approximately, 84.32. So 33.73 multiplied by 2.5 times, 84.325. So 33 I can take there. And 3-room suite, it will be 5x. So 5 multiplied by 33.73. Your answer comes to 168.65. 168.65 is your answer. I hope so everyone got this, all the questions. Here main adjustment was freight. So calculate freight per day per room. Okay, so 33.73, 84.33 and 168.65 is your final answer. So I hope so all these concepts are absolutely clear to you. I tried to solve each and every question. Okay, so thank you so much guys. See you in the next lecture with another topic. Thank you so much. Take care all.